Relatively easy shot into the side pocket. Sousa's 1-1. About 10-15 credible games at pool they've invented over the years, but 9-ball is the cruelest and the most vicious game I've ever played.
And in a funny way, it's a game, it looks very, very easy. I'm always trying to quit for everybody said, oh, but the pockets are so big, can't miss. Ain't going off as well.
Trouble is, Sid, the other guy can't miss as well. You've got to try and make sure you can't miss first.
Should simply, slid past for position, and we're here for one apiece. Remember, he needs 2 points on this, much more than Tony does.
Sousa, 1-1 against Tony Drago. And Sousa to break, our first view of his break-off. The break all important, of course. Let's have a look around the tables. Marvellous arena here, the Cardiff International Arena. 7 tables upstairs. There's Corey Jewell looking in command. He's beaten Warren Kiamko, and I would imagine that's him through to the next phase. He looks quite cool, calm and collected, Sid.
That's right, Kiamko, a great Philippine player. And, hey, that is a surprise, hey. People will be pouncing around the streets in Poznan. Radislav Babica, the choir boy, top of Group 7. We're 14. And look at the class in the group. Duel, Laley, the plague from The Hague, Martel, the dancing bear, and Kiamko, the Philippines. Well,
they're all home and dry. That is now concluded, that group. Joe Johnson goes out there. Here's De Sousa at the table, his first break-off. That was excellent. Look at the control on that cue ball.
Well,
exactly.
That is perfect break. That.
If he could repeat that every time, and he could clear the table, he'd be world champion. Of course, in Brazil, they have a game called Brazilian snooker. Totally different game to snooker. Only played with one red and the colours on a small table. So De Sousa, I would imagine, in some stage has played the game of Brazilian snooker, and has perhaps a slightly more of a snooker cue action than a pool cue action. But actually that's a dangerous shot he's played there. He would have been probably better advised to have left it into the open part of the table so he could get back out from this situation. Not certain whether he can do it now.
Yeah.
Well, clever shot in some ways.
Steve mentioned Brazilian snooker. It's Russian roulette day today. 64 of this field must go.
Snooker bridge there, and all of a sudden settling down quite nicely. Yep. Striking the balls with more authority.
Yeah, he's won several tournaments there called the Camp tournaments. Very intense.
Interesting tournament name. What are the rules? What's the dress code?
Woggles. This will hold the cush, or should hold the cush. This brown.
Just sew your own sequins on, do you? He's just about got good position here, yes, and he's just got to be careful coming up the table that he doesn't leave himself in no man's land and overhit this shot. Trying to leave himself in the middle of the table to one side or the other for an easy 9 into the corner.
I just needed to articulate because they run.
It's gone too far.
They run very fast on this table. That's why he wanted to be high. He wanted to be a foot higher.
He's still favourite, of course, but he doesn't want that white ball running around the table. He'd like to be straighter.
This for 2-1. In the game he needs to win to get into the top 4 of his league. Taking his time because he's got to watch where the white goes. White runs safe. So George De Sousa leading the parade at the moment. He leads 2-1 against Drago. Well, welcome back to a rainy day in Cardiff, and that may be an omen because we've got to lose 64 players here from the World Pool Championship. We're in the middle of an interesting game. Our first sight on TV of Jorge de Souza from Brazil playing Tony Drago, hot from a 5-4 victory over Earl Strickland in this, the league stage. And all around there is tension today as players walk around stone-faced because they say we've got to lose half the field before the knockout session start.
Very good break as well there from de Souza, but he came up dry. It's a pretty decent break off. Bit of weight behind that shot. You've got to get your body into the shot.
Push out cold.
More movement, more power transmitted to the cue ball. Push out from Tony Drago, pushing the 2 ball into a safe position. I think he's probably left the pot, but would be a very unwise shot to actually take the pot on. You'd leave yourself in no man's land for the 2, unless you could do something exceptional like screw back length of the table, cueing over the pocket.
Nowhere
He tried
near.
it. He tried it, but it was very little chance of executing that shot correctly. May be okay to play that shot in a club, but under the tension and pressure of the World Championship, different story entirely. Tony Drago, very weak safety shot. The type of shots that can cost you matches if you're not careful.
And Drago, the Sunderland, ease off the pedal if he thinks he's home and hosed in the group.
Yes, it could be, but of course, as we all know, the higher you get up your group, when it comes to the next phase, the weaker your opponent will be in the seeding list. So Tony Drago trying to win his group, that means he would play a 4th place player in the next phase. Great pot from de Souza. Doesn't look like he's in position. If you were a snooker player, you'd think he wasn't. But actually this 2 ball goes along quite nicely into the pocket from there. And a relatively good chance of coming up for the 3.
Yeah,
Lots of inside English on this to try and cannon into the 5.